Hey guys, it's Rufus. In this new meta, there are a lot of huge changes that are really going to impact the meta on both attack and defense. In competitive, Ashe is likely not going to be used very often anymore. Without flashes, she is much less attractive even though she has 3 explosives. Sophia will have 2 explosives, 2 burns, and she has absolutely no downsides. On defense, Jaeger is much less useful now. He will likely have much less impact on the round, and especially since stacking ADSs is going to be far less reliable. So both sides are going to have to adapt, and with the more recent change where Glaz was buffed, I'm making the case for why we could see another smoke meta in this new update. Glaz is very similar to the old Glaz. You can throw a smoke, charge, and see people like normal. It takes quite a while for the charge to go out, and when it does, you just have to stop for a second and then you can push up almost immediately. Your movement is slightly restricted, but Glaz can still be used to take control of rooms without anybody else being able to see you. If you add in operators like Ying, Lion, and Dokkaebi, this playstyle is greatly boosted. You can send out smokes to bait smokes canisters or even nitros, and then you can smoke out again, send out Ying candelas, call with Dokkaebi, call Lion scan, and go for a plant. The defenders won't be able to hear the plant going down because the Ying candelas are much louder. And even if the defenders try to deny plant, Glaz will be watching from behind the smoke. Now there are a lot of ways you can counter this. Jaeger, Wamai, Maestro, Smoke, and Nitros are the best ways. However, in this new update, you would be able to burn both Jaeger and Wamai with less than 6 flashes, given that you push at the beginning of the round. And if you ban Wamai, then you only need 3 flashes if you act on those 3 flashes. If you ban Maestro though, you won't need to destroy anything. Deployable shields can be a problem, but when you have a lot of smokes and candelas, you can be very unpredictable with your plant spot, along with the fact that you can just throw your smokes at any deployable shield. In ranked, this may be more difficult to do with Aruni available. However, in competitive and in Pro League, Aruni won't be around until the next season. So when it comes to burning, the defenders are going to be very limited if Jaeger and Wamai are the only ones on the table. This strategy also allows for a lot of attacker flexibility, because all you will need is some hard breach, explosives, and then the other 3 spots can be used for operators like Laz, Ying, and Lion. This strategy is going to be especially effective on Consulate and Coastline especially. Consulate is a very big and open map, with a lot of places connecting to the outside. These are prime conditions for Glaz. He can easily get set up extremely far outside and watch the planter from an insane distance. And since throwing smokes everywhere can make you very unpredictable, a plant is extremely easy to get down because the defenders know that they can't peek a Glaz. This map is also just one of the more attacker-sided maps in general. On Coastline, operators like Ying and Lion are already extremely powerful, and since the map is so attacker-sided already and the map itself is frag-heavy, this strategy is perfect not only for the map but just for frag-heavy teams in general. However, on every map you can use the strategy. You just can't be extremely aggressive the whole time and rush into the building. You will still need to do a proper room clear, destroy any utility that would interfere with the execute, and then execute. This isn't like the old smoke meta where you had nothing stopping you besides nitros and smoke canisters. Once you actually perform the right steps, you can still use this strategy on any map. Some of you might also be thinking about Aruni. Why should I care about the meta in competitive if all I do is play ranked? Well, I think this meta could go into ranked as well for a couple of reasons. With how frag heavy ranked is, this playstyle is going to encourage aggression and be really easy to run with anybody. It doesn't take a lot of coordination to just rush site and go for a plant. You can do this with either randoms or even a copper 5 stack. Playing like this is much easier than playing a utility meta. Clearing utility and clearing room by room in a coordinated fashion is obviously much harder than just rushing into site. Most people won't even be coordinated enough in order to play the utility meta, so playing like this in a smoke meta is so much easier, especially for ranked players, and also solo queue players. And I personally find it unlikely for ranked players to take advantage of the utility meta anyway. In fact, anybody could have taken advantage of the utility meta that we've been in for the past year. Back when Goyo had 3 shields, anybody could have taken advantage of that, but not a lot of people did. It's because they don't have the coordination with other players or they're choosing not to. I'm not calling ranked players dumb. That's not what this is for. It's just that people that play ranked are choosing not to use a certain playstyle. And that playstyle happens to be the most effective way to play this game right now. Some people might also think that Goyo is just not as good in ranked, but I disagree. Deployable shields are very powerful, and Goyo is in my opinion even stronger in ranked because people aren't as likely to communicate their needs, and not as many people are going to ask their friend Joe Poner 123 to clear the shield or any ADSs. And so once again, this is how the smoke meta encourages the ranked playstyle. You don't need to clear that shield, just throw some smokes into it and have a glass charge into it. With all these factors in mind, this is why I think we could potentially find ourselves in a smoke meta. However, in my opinion, this new meta could potentially be very diverse and contain a lot of elements of other metas that we've had in the past. The utility meta has been nerfed by removing shields and nerfing Jaeger. The Mute Mozzie Vigil meta was nerfed by Mozzie losing his shotgun. The smoke meta was nerfed by nerfing Glaz and the addition of bulletproof gadgets that can see through smoke. This means Maestro cams and bulletproof cams, and then there's also Warden that counters flashes and smokes. So no matter which direction you go, the meta will never be as strong as it used to be. This may cause a new meta to develop, or a mixture of these metas to be used. Simply based on the Jaeger change and the secondary gadget changes, this update seems like it'll be the most balanced season in Siege. Echo is no longer a necessary ban, and teams can now run IQ far more often. The attacking side is going to be much more flexible now, and with Zero soon to be in competitive, he's going to be extremely powerful. He can be used for both getting flanks and burning ADSs if you need to. Because he has so many cameras, he really has a lot of options, but that's a video for another day. That's all to say for this video, and if you learned something, give the video a like, and if you want to see more content like this, then subscribe. Toodles.